Okay, the second model that we're going to look at is Tudor Bompa's periodization of training. Now, it's important from the previous lectures that we understand that children do evolve at different rates. The growth rate of their bones, muscles, organs, and nervous systems are different from stage to stage, and even kids of the same age may be drastically different from a biological point of view. And Bompa suggests that a gradual progressive program with no abrupt increases in intensities greatly increases training efficiency and reduces the chance of frustration and injury. And he's called this process the periodization of long-term training. Now, he's actually split it up very nicely into two sections. He's very big on the multilateral development from age 16 to 14, and then into specialized training at 15 plus. So later specialization rather than early specialization. And he splits it into four categories. The first category Bompa calls the initiation stage, which is for children of 6 years to 10 years old. Now, children in the initiation stage should participate in low intensity training programs in which the emphasis is fun. Most young children are not capable of coping with the physical and psychological demands of high intensity training or even organised competitions. So training programs for these young athletes must focus on overall athletic development and not sport specific performance. The body's growing at a steady rate and larger muscle groups are more developed than smaller ones. The cardiorespiratory system is developing and aerobic capacity is adequate for most activities. Anaerobic capacities, however, are limited at this stage as children have low tolerance to lactic acid accumulation. Body tissues are susceptible to injury, as we discussed earlier. Ligaments are becoming stronger, but the bone ends are still soft and cartilaginous and calcifying. Now, attention span is short as well at this age, and children are action orientated, therefore they can't sit and listen for long periods of time, something you have to bear in mind when you're coaching children in this stage. It's especially important for training at this stage to be varied and creative. Think outside the box. You've pretty much got a free will what to do. Lots of fun games, but specific as well in your head of how you're going to train them. Participation and fun should be emphasized over winning in the initiation stage. The second stage Bompa talked about is the athletic formation stage, children from 11 to 14 years old. Bompa says it's appropriate to moderately increase the intensity of training during this athletic formation stage of development. Now, although most athletes are still vulnerable to injuries, their bodies and capacities are rapidly developing. Their cardiorespiratory system continues to develop and tolerance to lactic acid accumulation is gradually improving. It's important to understand that the variances in performance may be the result of differences in growth, as we discussed earlier. Some athletes maybe experience a rapid growth spurt, which can explain why they can lack coordination during particular drills. As a result, emphasize developing skills and motor abilities in this stage and not performing and winning. Now, the third phase is the specialization phase between 15 to 18 years old. Now, Bompa says athletes in the specialization stage are capable of tolerating greater training and competition demands than those in earlier stages. The most significant changes in training take place during this stage. Athletes who've been participating in a well-rounded program emphasizing multilateral development will now start performing more exercises and drills aimed specifically at high performance development in one sport. It's important for you as a coach, Bompa says, to closely monitor the volume and intensity of training to ensure that your athletes improve dramatically with little risk of injury. Now, towards the end of this athletic development stage, your athletes should have no major technical problems. Therefore, as a coach, you can move from teaching to a coaching role. And in the fourth section, it's high performance, 19 years and above, which is beyond the scope of this workshop, but we can touch on it. A well-designed training plan based on sound principles of long-term development will lead to high performance, according to Bompa. Exceptional performance results that athletes achieve during the initiation, athletic formation or specialization stages will then lead to high performance. Now it's interesting, Bompa has split them into initiation, athletic formation, specialization and high performance, but he also correlates them to the stages of maturation. So we're looking at pre-puberty for the initiation phase. Puberty is athletic formation. Post-puberty and adolescence correlates with specialization, and then full maturity correlates with high performance. This is a little bit different to other models that you'll see, especially the one we discuss in the next lecture by Isvan Bali, which is chronologically planned. This one is more planned around maturity. So understanding the maturity of your athlete and where they are in their athletic development is really important with Bompa's periodization of training model.